What's mental, guys? My name is Alvin Miner and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, kindly consider subscribing. In this channel, we usually talk about everything and all things related to mental health. Our topic today is going to be about anxiety disorders. Now, on the basic definition of anxiety, anxiety is a mental health disorder characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. Now, there are several symptoms of anxiety, which include feeling tired or weak, having an increased heart rate, sweating, trembling, breathing rapidly, feeling weak or tired, having the urge to avoid things that trigger your anxiety, and also you can feel nervous, tense, or restless. There are also several causes for one to experience anxiety, which can include traumatic events that maybe happened early in your life that can trigger your anxiety disorder. This is for people that already are experiencing the anxiety. The second cause can be medical causes. You see, anxiety can be linked to an underlying health issue, for example, like heart disease, drug misuse, or even withdrawal. Maybe if you are not using the drugs anymore, you're trying to quit, it's called the withdrawal syndrome. And also respiratory disorders, and also in some cases, diabetes. Now, there are various types of anxiety disorders, which include there is panic disorder, which are sudden attacks of intense terror-like feeling, which can include confusion, dizziness, even shaking of the body, and breathing difficulties, whereby you can be struggling to breathe because you are maybe experiencing the anxiety attack. Now, the second type of anxiety disorder can be generalized anxiety disorder. And for this one, it's a chronic disorder involving excessive, long-lasting anxiety about non-specific situations. These situations don't need to be specific for you to experience anxiety. It can just be caused by something. It can be triggered just by anything. You can be, maybe you go and meet a large group of people and maybe you're not that social, and then you start experiencing the anxiety attack. Now, the third one is called agoraphobia. I don't know if that's the spelling, but it's agoraphobia, anxiety. And this one involves, or rather, it's the fear or avoidance of places, stroke events that may be difficult to escape if one is trapped. So if you are this person who does not like small spaces and then you get trapped in a small space, it can cause you to experience an anxiety attack. For the fourth one, it's going to be social phobia. Now, for social phobia, it's the fear of negative judgment from others in social situations, i.e., stage fright. Maybe you're a musician or an artist and you're going to perform in front of a large audience, you can get to experience this. Also, if you are going through maybe rejection, maybe from your peers, friends, or even in a relationship, and also humiliation anxiety, whereby you're constantly afraid of humiliating yourself or being humiliated by other people, or rather the people surrounding you. Now, the fifth one is going to be selective mutism. Now, this one is very common among young kids, or rather children, whereby it's a form of anxiety that some children experience in which they can't speak in certain places, maybe school, church, even though they are fluent with their enunciations, or rather they talk fluently around familiar faces, but when it comes to unfamiliar people, they have difficulty expressing what they want or what they need, and they just maybe keep quiet and don't even talk out loud. Now, the sixth one is specific phobia. You know, you can be triggered by something that you're afraid of. You know, a phobia is something that you're afraid of. So, for the specific phobia, it's the irrational fear and avoidance of a particular object stroke situation that triggers you as a person. For example, if you go to a large crowd and it triggers your anxiety, that can be termed as a specific phobia. If you're afraid of small spaces and it triggers you when you're trapped in one, it's also a type of a specific phobia, which is also a type of anxiety disorder. Now, for the last one, the seventh and the last one, it's called the separation anxiety disorder, whereby it occurs after separation from a person or a place that provides feeling of security or safety. For example, home. You see, where you live, that's a place that you're very comfortable with and you consider it safe. So if you're taken from that place and maybe taken to another place, maybe you're going to visit another person, you're going to experience this type of anxiety, which is referred to as the separation anxiety disorder, because you have been removed from the place that you actually feel very safe and you've been taken to a place that you don't feel very safe. So you're going to maybe experience an anxiety attack because you're feeling like you're not in a secure place or location. Now, there are various treatment forms for anxiety disorders, and we're going to talk about them. So, for the treatment plan of anxiety disorders, there are actually several, and we're going to start with the first one, which involves self treatment. You, as yourself, can try and make yourself better by doing the following activities like stress management. You can try to reduce the amount of workload you put on yourself, i.e., if you're working, don't put in too much pressure on yourself because it's going to lead you to get an anxiety attack. You can check on what you are able to do at a particular time and do it, because there's no rush. Like, you don't have to put a lot of workload on yourself so that you can prove a point or rather finish something quickly. You need to work with your own pace. You need to work according to your own strengths. Now, the second type of self treatment that you can carry out if you're a person experiencing anxiety, it's relaxation techniques, whereby you can use various techniques so that you can relax your body, you can relax yourself, which is going to reduce chances of you getting anxiety attacks. Various forms of relaxations can maybe you include listening to music, going out. I mean, don't be just confined in a single space so that you feel maybe secure or safe. By going out, you get to do other activities which tend to free your mind off from focusing from specific things that could be the triggers to your anxiety attacks. You can also try exercising your thoughts to replace the negative thoughts that you have and try to put in positive thoughts, whereby you can try seeing things in a positive perspective. You don't have to always see everything in a negative perspective. You just need to try and visualize and see, or rather, change how you look at things in certain perspectives. If maybe you are experiencing a challenge, instead of focusing on the challenge, you can try and focus on getting a solution. Also, you can also try doing exercises to reduce stress levels, also to reduce these anxiety attacks, because you'll be working out, your mind will be occupied, with the activities that you'll be doing while exercising, and that will keep your mind focused on the exercises rather than keeping your mind focused on your anxiety triggers. Now, the second form of treatment that you can focus on as a person who is experiencing anxiety attacks is counseling, whereby you can go and take psychological counseling, which may include cognitive behavioral therapy, which is also referred to as CBT, which I'm going to talk to about as the third point. So the third point is cognitive behavioral therapy, also known as CBT, which aims to recognize and change harmful thought patterns that form the foundation of anxious or troublesome feelings. Now, this is what I was earlier talking about, whereby you'll try to change the thoughts that you are getting to experience, and then you can try to replace the negative thoughts that you're having with positive thoughts that can help you overcome anxiety attacks, which can be quite helpful in trying to reduce the amount of anxiety you are experiencing as a person. Now, for the final treatment plan, is you can go to a doctor and they can prescribe some medications for you, which can actually help reduce your anxiety levels. But you need to go to a professional so that you can get the right type of medication specifically tailored for you. You know, everybody has different types of anxiety, and depending on your anxiety levels, you need to get professional feedback so that you can be able to get a good medical plan. So you can try medication, which is going to control some of the physical and mental symptoms. And some of these medications include antidepressants, which are a healthy form of you trying to reduce your, you know, your stress levels, your anxiety levels. Also, it's going to help you become better. You know, it's all about your mental health, and we need to start taking care of it as early as possible. You see, the good thing about these mental health issues is that if they're discovered early enough, you can actually be treated and you can get better. So in case you get to experience some anxiety disorders, I'd require you to try some of those treatment plans that we have just talked about. And it's also good for you to go and visit a professional so that you can also get a professional feedback, or rather a medical feedback from your doctor or even your therapist. I want to urge all of you to continue taking care of your mental health, and I need you to know that you are not alone in whatever you're going through. Kindly, if you're experiencing any mental health issue, try reaching out to a professional, try talking to somebody. Go, even if you need to go to the hospital, kindly do that, but don't stay silent on your problem and sit and wonder on what you're going to do. You need to talk to somebody because help is always there. So guys, that's going to be all for this week's episode. Keep subscribing to this channel, keep liking the channel, keep commenting down below on the things that you want me to talk about in the next episode. And with all that said and done, I'm going to be seeing you guys next week. So peace out.